Today's video, we're going to talk about why Google ads are not showing up for you when you search for your own keywords on Google ads, or should I say Google, not Google ads. If you go to Google, you type in your keywords, you expect to have your ads show up there. If you're targeting the keyword red shoes, why the hell sometimes when you type in red shoes does the ad not show up? The answer to that question is there's several reasons why I'm going to go through in this video specifically. Google is not on or off system anymore. It used to be back in 2005 when I started advertising on Google. You either advertised and you showed up for that keyword basically every single time, or you haven't. And then slowly over the years, Google's gotten more and more complicated. Their system's running more and more off of so-called machine learning systems. There's absolutely no time where your ad's going to show up every single time. Or should I say, it's not a guarantee it will show up every time. Now, you could show up 98, 99% of the time. It's never going to show up every single time guaranteed no matter what. The more common experience is it only shows up sometimes depending on a bunch of different factors that I'm going to go through on today's video with you here. And some of you guys are maybe in a situation where you're a PPC agency like I have here, or PPC manager like I am, and the client asks you this question, and this is going to be able to tell them what you could tell them to explain the situation, to take you out of the hot seat. Or if you're just a regular old guy trying to run their own ads, this will explain why you shouldn't be sweating it so much. I'm Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a PPC/advertising agency that guarantees results for the clients at our firm. That is more profitability from your ads up front, or certain level of minimum profitability, or there's no management fee that we charge. We're the only agency on the planet that offers any kind of guarantee to their clients. We've been running the agency for 10 years, and I have 20 years of overall ad experience to be able to give you the information I'm sharing with you here in today's video, and of which have run and managed hundreds upon hundreds of different Google Ads campaigns to give you the information I'm sharing with you here today. So if you're going to pay attention to anything in regards to this topic, you got the best source of information you can get. With that said, I'm going to go into the reasons here why your ads will not show up, so you understand this for the most part inside and out. So to start with, the obvious thing, a reason why your ad could not show up for a particular person and for yourself when you're doing a cursory search for your keywords to make sure your ads are showing, is due to the budget. If you aren't spending enough, your ads are going to only run part of the day. You know, if you're, and you know that's the case, if your campaign says under the campaign status column in your account, if it says limited by budget, your ad's not going to show up all the time because you don't have enough money to run it full time. You can run your ad as much as, you know, and have it show up every time if you're giving Google enough, because showing your ad all day long for every single person searching for your keywords costs a certain amount. If you don't tell Google you're willing to spend that amount, you're going to only show up part of the day. You know, whether that's your ads are only going to show to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or noon even. So that's one thing to consider, and how you would actually identify if that's the reason. So if your campaign doesn't say limited by budget, then you can start to move into the other reasons here, of which the campaign age is the other second biggest factor here that I would want to consider. And what I mean by campaign age is if you just launched that campaign, because Google system's predicated on past advertiser history so much, you actually get treated as a second-class citizen when you start advertising on Google, particularly if it's a new campaign in a brand new account. Why? Because Google sees a lot of advertisers. Most advertisers don't make any money on Google. They run ads for a little while. They think they're going to get rich and it was going to be so easy to make this work. They get into it, or they have ridiculous expectations. They try it out for a little bit, then they give up on it right away. Because 9 out of 10 people literally do that exact thing that I just mentioned to you, and literally it's that much, you can see people come in and out of Google all the time because they think that it should be easy and it should make them rich right away. And, they're just being unrealistic because everybody's so, it's mostly the average person's a flash in the pan for them. They do not take that person seriously until they've been around for a while and they see their ads and landing pages that they're taking people to, or sites that they're taking people to seriously. the people are clicking their ads at a decent rate and that the people getting to their sites converted at a decent rate, which indicates to Google that your stuff provides their users a good experience. And what they're really doing with their system on an ongoing basis, particularly when you have competitors, is they're rotating out your ad versus the other ads that are there trying to advertise and show up for your same keywords, and identifying who's got the stuff, who's got the ad, who's got the landing pages that are going to give the user the best experience. That is measured through click-through rates and conversion rates on the clicks. And if you do better than the competition, Google's going to want to show you more. If you do less than the competition on those two metrics, they're going to want to show you less, because it's not just about money, purely anyway. It's still a bidding-based, auction-based system, whether you show up for a person or not there on Google. With that said, they are going to allow you to be shown or want to show you more if you do a good job as an advertiser. They're going to, and because that makes people want to click on ads in the future if they got a good experience the last time they checked the ads and clicked through an ad. So their primary goal isn't to just take that, give the ad space to the highest bidder. It's to try to give the ad space to the person who does the best for their users and give them the best rate per click, give them the person that they know is most statistically likely to turn into a customer, because they basically know that from all the data that they have from all the past searchers, and as a way to encourage them to stay around, because they're making the search engine and the ad space better for their users. And the person who does a crappy job, they want to basically charge a bunch of money. And if you're not willing to pay a bunch of money, then they don't want to show your ad at all, effectively. This is an on-off system. You either get on Google's good side or you don't, and they kind of want to make sure that your ads don't pay for themselves, so you go somewhere else. They don't physically kick you out, they just price you out of the system. So with that said, if you are starting out, even if you have the best ad on the planet and the best landing page to take them to on the planet that kicks the crap out of all your competition, because these machine learning algorithms rely on data, and you got to have a certain amount of data for algorithms to make decisions. They're not going to just make a decision when they don't have statistical significance in their decision making to make it an accurate decision on anything. Your ad, before it gets a certain amount of clicks, is going to be treated like the 90% of people who try running ads for a little bit and then give up, or have the ad and landing page that they don't really want to promote. They're not going to want to show you very much because of that. But also, they slowly only test you out. They're not going to just run your ad aggressively right away, because that would push out the good ads that they know already do well for a guy who probably can't do very well for their users. But what they will do is give everybody a chance. They'll run your ad, and let's say for your keywords, those 10% of the users who search for your keywords, they'll start to show your ads. Just start to get a feel if your ad and landing page does actually very well for their users. If it does, then, but only then, will they'll start to run your ad for like 15% of the people who search for your keywords, then 20, and then they'll build it up from there. But they don't take big risks on screwing up the user experience for all their users on new guys that are coming in. You have to pay to play at the beginning. You have to spend money. You have to be treated like a second-class citizen until they see your ads perform. And then they run your ads consistently. And then they give you a decent rate per click. And everything else comes in a line. But usually after months of running your ads already. Which is why I say all the time on this channel, you need to be able to invest money for a while before you can expect things to be profitable. And if it weren't that way, everybody would do it and everybody would be rich. If you've only been running your campaign for a while, and especially if your account's new and your campaign's new, it's going to take a while for Google to confidently run your ad 100% of the time for your keywords, because they know inside and out it will do better than the ads that they preferred before you came in that were their favorite before. What you want to do is become Google's favorite, so they show you all the time. Well, they're only going to do that after you've had a few hundred, if not a few thousand clicks on your ads. Got it? Beyond that, the other reason why your ad could not be shown for yourself is low quality scores. So along with what I just said, basically, this isn't an on or off system. They're not showing your ads. They may show your ads a lot for some keywords, but not in others, because they're evaluating you on a keyword by keyword basis. And not only that, by the way, but on a user by user basis. Because within the keyword, they see 5,000 different people searching for that keyword. Male, female, old, young, and on and on. Basically what they're doing is they're going to score you at minimum on a keyword by keyword basis to see how well you're measuring up against the competition for in terms of your ad and landing page compared to the people who are also advertising on that and each individual keyword. And if you do a good job on a certain keyword in terms of ad click-through rates and conversion rate from your clicks that you're getting, and a poor job on another keyword, they'll show you a lot for this keyword and not so much on this keyword. As Google's trying to optimize the experience for their users as much as they can, and the more they sub-segment what they're doing and evaluate things on a micro basis, the more overall better experience their users are going to get, because ultimately businesses will do better catering to one audience over another, and that's just how it is. And they're trying to separate out, okay, of the market that you're trying to advertise to, which part of it really wants what you have versus doesn't want. And we'll show it like hell to the people who do want it, and the people who don't want it will stop basically effectively showing your ad very much. So if you have been advertising for a while, a few thousand clicks at the very least, and your ads are not still showing up, it's because you haven't done enough work to make your ad better than the competition and the landing page / site better than the competition in terms of conversion rates. And I say, and you didn't try very hard, because basically anybody can beat the competition. I don't care what market you're in. You just have to have somebody who knows how to make an ad and a landing page that converts, and you will beat them. Or even if you weren't even that smart, you can just sub-segment what you're doing. Most people want to have one ad that caters to everybody for all their keywords. And I love it when people do that, because I can come into a market and instead of targeting everybody searching for plumbing services the same way, I have an ad that's just for clogged toilets and one ad just for clogged drains and so forth. And so that when there's 4 ads to select on the top of Google and they all say plumbing services and mine says clogged toilet repair, we are the clogged toilet repair experts, we're going to have them click on our ad at 3 times the rate as any other ad for those users. And then are going to get a high quality score. And then with that, Google's going to want to show our ad basically as close to 100% of the time as possible, or basically almost like 99% of the time. And that's how you get it done. You know, ad writing skills, landing page skills, or you just be more relevant to the people that you're targeting. And you do that by having unique ads and landing pages for each keyword. And even beyond each keyword, you could go one ad just for people who search this keyword that are male versus female, and go and keep going. Because there's a point where you'll be so catering to each individual on a user level based upon you already knowing what they want to hear, because you know what they've typed, you know who they are, you know this and this and this about them. You can say something exactly that'll tickle their ear in the perfect way. Your competition, I don't care how good of ad writer they have, you're still going to beat them, because the relevancy is more important than what you say, because you can tell them exactly what they want to hear, because you know what they want to hear, because you know exactly what keyword they typed in. So, and by the way, with this, if you want somebody to set up your ads that will beat the competition for sure, have a landing page that'll beat your competition or site for sure, this is something I know how to do for sure. I could do it in any market at this point. Why? Because I've set up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of accounts now. I do this as my full-time job. I just do ad strategy. I have a team that helps me execute. All I do as 40 hours a week is ad testing to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And I know what people are willing to do and what they're not willing to do. I know what users want to see, what they're not willing to see. And before I even start on your stuff, I already know what's going to work. There's no, just, maybe we'll try this, we'll try this. No, you're going to you'll be buying 20 years of experience for your campaign and getting it implemented in your campaign so it just crushes the other guy's ads right from the start. If you want that level of service, that's what we provide at our firm. Reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. Happy to have a conversation with you about working together. We don't take on just any client, but we do offer a guarantee to all the clients we work with. We also sell ad templates. If you like managing your own ads and you want to be able to have the better ad, better landing page right off the bat, we sell, if we've worked in your niche market before, which we've worked in 100 plus niche markets in the last 10 years, the winning ads, winning landing pages, winning campaigns, all of it that work for your space, you copy paste those into your account after buying them from us outright for a one-time fee, and you'll get the results that you're looking for just from that, and of which we can tell you what the cost per lead or ROI that we were getting before, so you know what you're going to get up front with it. And as long as you're in a different geographic area than our client or a different country, you can use it for yourself. There's no conflict of interest or anything there, and you should use it. So, but getting back to the content here, the fourth reason why your ad would not show potentially for you when you search for it on Google is the user because of smart bidding. Okay, With smart bidding, you're telling Google, obviously, you either want a certain cost per lead or a certain ROI or ROAS, right? If you're using or maximize conversion value bidding strategies, which are the main ones everybody uses, and I'll talk about them exclusively here. With that, okay, you're telling Google, I want a $30 cost per lead. No more, no less, basically. With that, or you could say at least no higher than $30 cost per lead. Google, and I'll take every lead you can get at least at $30 or less or whatever. So with that, what will happen is Google is going to go to work figuring out whatever it's doing for you already and has done for you in the past, what's gotten you a $30 cost per lead. And anything that hasn't, right away, well, all it does is it starts weeding out everything that didn't get you a $30 cost per lead in the past. That is certain age demographics, certain genders, certain income levels, certain people that have went to certain websites in the past versus other websites. And it has thousands of data points on every user that comes through Google. And they can, every time you get a lead, they compare all the traits of those people that turned into a lead at a $30 rate versus the ones that haven't. And using statistical modeling, identify, the likelihood of a person turning into a lead at a $30 cost or less when they come through Google. They know, if a person has this trait and this trait and this trait and this trait, they're 98% likely to turn into a lead at a $30 cost or less. So therefore your ad should show up for that person. And for this person over here that doesn't have those traits, it shouldn't. And it does this work for you in the background to get you the end, what you want, which is a $30 cost per lead. With that, it does not, you can't bitch and complain that your ad doesn't show up for red shoes when you sell red shoes, when you search for red shoes, when you use smart bidding, because you're actively saying, hey, if the person doesn't look like they're going to convert, don't have the ad show up for that person at all, even though you target the keyword red shoes. And it's going to look at you as an individual, not whether a keyword or one keyword over another works. It goes way beyond that nowadays. It looks at the people searching for red shoes and dissects the traffic from that keyword red shoes thousands of times, identifies which section of it and the people searching for it that convert at a rate that's going to be acceptable to you that you've set up for the campaign to get, and weed out the one part that hasn't. And that's why your ad may not show up for yourself when you search for it. So, and then with that, going further here, user behavior overall. So one of the things that Google does, going back to what I was saying before, is they're trying to make their platform better in that people want to click on ads in the future and not get pissed off when they see an ad that it's irrelevant, that when they click on an ad, they get to a site, the site's irrelevant, and therefore they don't want to click on an ad anymore. Well, along with that, what they've also done, which is very smart, they've identified that if users, when they search for a certain thing and they're a certain type of, we'll just say search for a certain thing, they're not helped by ads. Like if somebody types in, for instance, you could find out like what's the best religion in the world. If they find out when they've shown ads for people that search for that in the past, almost nobody clicks on an ad. And of the people who click on the ad, they don't like what they see. And this is like 90% of the time. What they can choose to do then is just decide it's not worth it to damage our reputation of our ad space by having ads show up for this search. We'll just not have the ads shown at all. Even though we can make a little money showing ads here, it's not worth it because the person who we want to click on ads in the future will be less likely to when they always see ads. It's because naturally, when you're overloaded with ads, you're less likely to click on ads when you are overloaded with them. Whereas if you only see an ad, sometimes you're more likely to click on an ad. They're not going to burn out their users with ads that in situations where people don't hardly benefit from the ads, so that the really high price, let's say auctions where they're charging $50 per click, people are less likely to click on an ad there because they've seen ads so much in the past, and they get what they call like banner blindness, because the more ads people see on a platform, the less likely they are to click on an ad because their brain gets used to blocking it out, if that makes sense. So that can be a big reason why you don't see an ad show up for a keyword, even though you're bidding on that keyword itself. Also, user behavior on an individual level. So going further here, which, by the way, if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you absolutely should do that, as the information I'm giving you for free on this channel comes from somebody who spends 40 hours a week managing dozens of ad accounts to give you the working information on what works and what doesn't work, which doesn't sound like a lot until you realize all these other bozos on YouTube and on the web aren't really running any ads. they're trying to sell you a course and they don't really run any ads, or they run a couple ads and it's not enough information to really know what the hell they're talking about or be eligible to talk about it. Whereas we've had many people watch the content on this channel alone, implement it, make many millions of dollars, and actually message me back later saying that this has actually happened. It's best information you're going to find, period, on the topic of making millions of dollars running ads for your business. So you want to subscribe to this channel at the very least. You also want to check out my blog along with that I keep at my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has step-by-step advice on how to execute strategies that I use for our clients to guarantee the results, literally speaking. So you want to check that out as well. Going back to what I was mentioning here, if you're not seeing your ads when you search for your keywords, big reason that could be is because Google's looking at who you are as an individual. Going back to the smart bidding, Google's trying to figure out the person who ends up buying from you and who doesn't. And when you yourself search for your keyword, they may say, you're a person that doesn't look like they would buy, so they're not going to have the ad show up for you, so you don't have a chance to not convert through your campaign, if you will. What you need to do to fix that is you need to get on a whole different device so they don't look at your past search behavior to identify that you're a loser, basically, to them, a non-buyer, so that it doesn't skew whether your ad will show up or not. Because respectively, what happens is if you've been searching a lot in your space before and you haven't bought anything, Google's going to think you're a tire kicker. And you are, practically speaking, I mean, just to be honest about it. Whereas a new person on a new computer or on your same computer where you were able to delete all your cookies, change your user agent, change your IP, and know all that stuff, and made a search, they know they're not going to make all these assumptions about you because they don't have as much information about your activity in the niche space that you're in, if you will, if that makes sense. That can be a reason why your ad doesn't show as well. But that goes through the 5 different reasons why your ad would not show. And so the moral of the story here is if your ad doesn't show, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You actively don't want Google to show your ad every single time for people searching for your keywords because that's not going to give you the ROI that you want. The machine learning systems that Google has now are there to make more money from the same amount of people that are searching and for their advertisers than otherwise. That is, people who are serious buyers, the ads are going to run super hella aggressively. The people who aren't buyers, the ads are not going to run at all. So people as a whole, when they see an ad, they'll respond at a higher rate. And not only that, but they're constantly measuring the people who buy so they understand when your ad should show versus somebody else's ad should show, because you may be more expensive and Google understands that if they have a higher income, your ad should show. And if the person's got a lower income, a person's ads that offers a cheaper service should show. And that's what you want them to do anyway. So this whole, my ad doesn't show, I'm pissed. It's really a child's mentality here because we're not here to have our ad show or not show. We're here to make money. We're here to make sales. If you're getting more sales and your ad doesn't show, complaining about. And for that matter, you shouldn't complain. It's just like the people who complain that their cost per click goes higher when they're using smart bidding. Hello, if you're still making more money on an ongoing year-over-year basis and you're constantly scaling your results, why the hell do you care the cost per click is going up? In fact, do you want them to charge you less per click and then you have all these bag tire kicker leads coming in? No, you want your ad to show up for the most likely to buy person and only them. And so if you're using lead scoring, like I tell you to use on this channel, where you're actually giving information back to Google about whether a lead was qualified or not, assuming you're doing lead generation campaigns and you're not an e-commerce business. Actively, what you will be doing then over time is getting higher and higher quality leads, but along with that, you can kind of expect your cost per click to go up because you're tapping into people that Google knows is more likely to convert. And guess what? When they know somebody's more likely to convert, other people that advertise, assuming you have competitors, also want that person. So you're going to have to outbid them. They're going to put a higher value on that person because they know they're more likely to convert, and that's just how it works. You can pay less per click all day long, but all you're going to do is get somebody that Google knows is least likely to convert, and that doesn't help you do anything functionally that is useful to your business. Anyway, if you have any questions about this, you can obviously leave me a comment in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. But that pretty much goes over the basics behind this, and really hope this put into perspective what is going on, why your ad doesn't show up when you try to search for it, and how you should really be thinking about it and what to do about it in general. I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said smart bidding was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.